Let's go, dude.
Knowledge.
Let's get salty.
Wrong.
Order in the court, internet problems. What a wonderful day. And Mikey just froze like that. That is a wonderful start. Just so you can see that's what we've been dealing with.
I'm just trying to get everybody used to what they're going to see all day.
Oh, you weren't even pre-framed. Oh, you got
man, of course.
Got him.
Gotcha, pal. It's a gotcha moment. Oh, but thankfully, internet problems decided to wait till today, till Creed was back, so that he could helm things while I, just go in and out all over the place.
Well, Mikey, let me tell you, I am prepared for today. I just spent about 2 hours on the couch just resting my feet so I could make it all the way into this room.
So you can walk this far.
I'm telling you.
Wife's going to come in and wheel him out in a minute, like it's a wheelchair back to the couch.
I would, if we had one, I would politely say yes. Feel free to do that. After I got to the track about 10 a.m. yesterday, a little after 10. I got home at 12:50.
Good grief.
Just shy of 1 o'clock, 12 hours worth of racing plus. It was crazy. But anyways, here we are. We got a case. We got a TPO today. I would judge. Dude.
That's right. Between a young man named, I think his last name is, I got it written down somewhere. Oh, yeah. Oh! His last name is O, Creed.
Okay.
That's right. Oh! Mr. O apparently has been trying to stalk the young lady, allegedly.
We like
up at the
stalk.
top there. She works for Parks and Rec.
Oh.
So
I watched a video where a dude was talking about that Parks and Rec was a better, what do you call it, a mockumentary than The Office? And I said, I don't know about that. But Parks and Rec is great. But I don't see
tons
it.
of Parks and Rec was outside of Parks and Rec. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the Office was more centralized to the office.
All right. Well, there's that.
Yeah, and it's just definitely not as good. Sorry.
Yeah, I was taken back by that. Anyways, let's jump into it. Let's do it. Mr. What was his last name again? I didn't.
Oh.
All right. This is a stalking petition, and so the questions we will be answering is whether we have jurisdiction over this case, whether there have been acts of stalking committed, and whether this order might make that less likely to reoccur in the future. And so I will start with Miss Joyner Marshall, and I'll ask that you raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear any statements you make to the court will be the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. So you filed this petition at the beginning of the month. To the best of your knowledge, the respondent, Mr. O, is a DeKalb County resident. Is that correct?
Correct.
How long have you known Mr. O or known of him?
Since April 29th.
All right. And how did you first come into contact with Mr. O?
I work for Parks and Recreation Department. He attended one of the events.
Okay. And so this was an event that was open to the public?
Yes.
Yeah, dedication to a bench.
And what happened? Did anything notable happen during the event regarding Mr. O?
No.
Okay.
Just an introductory conversation.
All right. And what happened?
Oh, look at him flexing.
He proceeded to come in.
He's almost like drinking out of a chalice. Like what's his name now?
It's a pimp cup, baby.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
like
Mr. O here. You know, he's at the Parks and Rec place. He's trying to, get together with apparently, allegedly, this young lady. But I mean, he is a pimp.
Pimp. She kind of looks like a secret agent woman, like from a movie.
Yeah, she's got that plain Jane cute look.
She's got a tattoo.
Well, she's a bad girl too, Creed.
To the recreation center where Parks and Rec is based out of every single day following, multiple times a day, despite being given the schedule of events and classes, both physical copy and online. Came to my kickball game April 28th. Came to a Parks event the next day,
Oh, hang on one moment. When was the first day?
Hang
that
on
you
one
met
moment.
him?
You play
April
kickball?
29th.
Yeah, hang on just a minute. I'm on a traveling kickball team.
Hang on. You play kickball too? I play kickball.
Now, what was the score? Did you guys win that day? Maybe you came to celebrate the next day. You never know.
Mr. O wants to know, what position do you play? Oh!
Okay, so you just said he came to a kickball game before you.
Sorry, that's
him?
She's looking up.
would be. I'm sorry. The Spring Fling event was April 15th.
Spring Fling.
The initial meeting was April 15th.
Wanted to have a spring
The
fling. Do you
kickball
blame
game
her?
was April 29th, and then the event following was the 20. The kickball game was April 28th, and then the next day that I will be speaking of is the 29th, and then the first is when kind of it all.
Okay, so the location where you work has public events that are scheduled and announced. I'm inferring from this. Is that right?
Correct.
And what?
I'm not sure if you guys ever noticed this, but we're getting to know Asher pretty well. It's just in little tiny little
tiny bits. He comes in.
tiny
Like,
little bits almost every single day. We get just a little bit more of Asher. One of these days we're gonna
he's a
have
fan. He's a fan of the show. He wants to be included
I
as
get
much
it.
as he can. I understand.
I just you got to give him a little bit of credit because he doesn't really bug us, right? He just wants to be on the show. He wants to
He's
be
just a little
around.
FaceTime with
Right.
the crowd. Let everybody know,
Just enough
I'm
for
not
us
a
to-
stalker.
Yeah, just enough to notice him.
Good to see you,
goes
Robert.
on at so over the last 5 to 6 weeks, how often are those events?
We've had two.
Okay, so for the vast majority of the days, there are no public events.
Correct.
And so the facility is open to the public if they have business to conduct with the Parks and Recreation Department. Is that right?
Correct. Things like senior aerobics, or we have a hybrid homeschool program that would meet
The hybrid.
in the morning or the afternoon times. Pottery, things of that nature.
So are there classes that are offered on site?
Yes.
Okay. And how does do you have to sign up for those classes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have to pay for those classes?
Usually those are, so it's both. There are some programs that are internal where you pay through us, and then there are some you pay through the instructors. Pottery, etc. is it's an example of that one.
Okay. And so your first encounter with Mr. O was around the 15th of April.
Correct.
So
Hey now.
from then
Hey
until
now.
the end of the month, so a little over.
We're doing hey nows now for.
Oh, there we go. I think that's a definite payoff.
It's Monday, okay? Leave me alone. It's Monday.
We ended the show to start the show, so don't. Yeah, it's all right.
That's true. It's gonna be one of them days.
For 2 weeks.
And thank you, Jim. 2 bones.
You can Jim.
How many days did you see Mr. O?
Every single day, weekday, Monday through Friday.
Okay. And you're typically you keep more traditional business hours.
Laura in Michigan.
Oh, you missed it just by a hair.
I'll tell you what I'll give you today. Thinking of a train, you've got the engine, right?
Gotcha.
And you've got that. Remember the old trains that have the really big coal set? That's the cool thing, right?
Yeah. Are you calling her the coal cart?
Not in so many words. Thank you.
How about
Laura.
this, Jim? Jim, I'm gonna let her jump you in line because she sent $20. I mean,
Nah.
it's just the way it is. I'm sorry, Jim.
I do. I
Still love you
work
though.
I work the front desk Monday through Friday.
Okay. And so when Mr. O would come, what would he say would he ever say what he wanted or what he was doing there?
He would say things like, I just want to know what's going on today, even though he'd been the day previously, and he would understand, okay, well, we have senior aerobics right now, so there's really nothing to just pop in for.
Yes,
And this would happen over and over and over again every day, multiple times a day.
Quotes.
Okay. To what extent, and you may or may not know the answer to this, during these few weeks, were there other people?
Just you. Internet looks perfect, crisp and clear, and speaking just fluently.
Oh, is my audio breaking up too? Oh my
A
god!
little bit, just a little bit. It's not. It's doable. Now, again, if this was yesterday, on Monday,
I'd be crying right now.
I'm crying now because gotta remember. Oh, Mikey doesn't like this. Do you not like? He's new.
Oh, am I doing that? Oh,
God.
I'm excited that Teresa Blake is here. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
That he was making contact with at the department.
Yes, there were a couple.
Okay.
We have
So let me ask it this way: to what extent was it focused on you versus being spread around to other people?
I would say initially it was for whoever was sitting up there, but then it became more about our interactions.
Okay. And so it looks like that you filed your petition on the 2nd of May. So what happened across late?
Oh my God, he really does have clouds in the background, you guys. Okay, I saw that comment. I hadn't seen the clouds yet. I wasn't paying that close.
I don't even know if this guy lives alone. It's hard to identify his age. He's hanging out at the park
and
Monday
look
through
behind
Friday.
There is like little plushies with clouds. Somewhat disturbing, and the face that he's making, I don't think that he likes that we just pointed that out. I'm very. Don't say
He's proud of those clouds. When he painted them 15 years ago, they were awesome.
April and the very beginning of May.
I would say the determining factor for me was I saw him that Friday night at my kickball game, which was just league play. It's not a spectator event. Then he came to a public event the very following day. Told me I looked like this video game character was talking to me.
Good luck, the cricket with that, and you got a hall pass. It's fine. Thanks for the heads up. All right, I like this little piece of news that we just got, that maybe he's into her because she looks like an anime character or something from a video game.
I mean, she's kind of tall. I'm guessing just from her hands, like how long her fingers are. See you here, you seeing those. Also, she's very statuesque. You can tell she's got a very long neck.
I do believe she's very tall and thin.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably what he's thinking about. Yeah, I don't know anything about the anime stuff. You know, I have a life.
Well, I guessed anime.
Oh yeah, he's a video game, but I don't know. Does she like Mario?
All right, well played, Jim. So that's $21.99, I believe, total. So he actually is. So you make that choice. I'm not doing it. I'm not making that choice. But I'll give you the hallelujahs.
How about I just give you 2 seats?
How about this? How about we do this now? It's like a big freight train, and you've got multiple engines, right?
Mm-hmm. Go on,
Jerry.
There you go.
Told me I was gorgeous. On Monday,
Gorgeous.
Sunday we're closed. Monday he came in 3 times. He took my business card from my business card holder, left, showed up at my house.
Which I'm guessing is public space. I don't think that's.
Hasn't got her address though. I mean, now he knows her whole name if he didn't already.
Well, that's true. Wonder if he hit her up on IG yet.
I mean, he's smooth. He come in with "You're beautiful," you know.
Yeah, at least he's upfront about
gorgeous.
Coming into her work 3 times in one day, though, that's a bit much.
Well, he's there every day, Monday through Friday.
Just Jen.
House.
Just Jen.
30 minutes later, rang the doorbell and talked to my husband through our video camera.
And are you
also
showed up at the house?
We're talking her house now.
Her house, not work. He went to her house.
Mystic Lady, I didn't know that. That's like a. Huh. All right.
Foursomes. Go on.
sometimes I have to stupid questions, and you're allowed to give me, I won't call it a stupid answer, but an obvious answer. Is your home address on your business card?
It is not.
And so I hope you understand why I deem that
Judge
question what it
Jude
is. I
even
know that would
laughed
be
about this
uncommon
guy.
at best, but
He did.
do you have any idea as to how he may have come to know your home address?
I don't.
Is your full name on your business card?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go by Jess, so it's Jess Joyner Marshall rather than Jessica Joyner Marshall. But yeah, close.
Okay.
close
No,
enough.
Judge, it just says
I mean,
Jess
it
the
has a
legend.
last name, I guess. Let's put it
Yes,
that way.
yes, it does.
All right. And so you were not there. Were you at work when he took the card and left and then went to the home?
Yes,
All right. Was there, did you submit a video of
I
this
did.
interaction?
I submitted
a
the video of
video?
him on the porch. I think that was all that was captured.
All right. Madam Clerk, are we able to pull that up and screen share?
Please.
So he finds her house. That's not very easy though, even through social media typically.
Yeah,
So-
I'm pretty sure I couldn't figure out where somebody lived just from their name.
Yeah, I tried to search Griggsy.
I mean, is that what the doxing thing that kids talk about these days? Doxing?
Yeah.
Maybe this
All right,
doxing on her?
So maybe that 4chan thing may come alive. Isn't that a place like well, I don't know a lot about 4chan. We got hit by 4chan one time.
Yeah, 4chan came through one time.
I don't even know what that is. But
I don't either, but we get a lot of traffic from there, as well as Reddit, by the way. Credence and Mikey more searched now than Credence and Bishop show.
no shit.
Double.
All right. Making moves.
Here.
Should be. I believe it's number 2.
I can't wait to hear his excuses.
Right. I hope he's got some.
Oh, best shirt.
Yeah.
Box of Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, he
I
brought
found
the
this dog.
puppy.
I found this dog. Is it yours?
Nah,
Oh, she's got a nice home too.
All right. And so do you know approximately when this video was taken?
If I can look at my phone, I can give you the exact time.
Just the date. So was this like April 30th, May 1st?
May 1st.
Is this your
that
Hello
Monday.
Fresh on the porch?
3:30, I believe.
Okay. So afternoon.
all right. So there's actually but I'm actually gonna go with you on that one. I wasn't even really thinking about that.
Ooh. But she hadn't even got home yet. She said her husband was there.
No, well, he could have followed her at some point, though. I think that would be
Oh, yeah,
easier
absolutely.
than trying to figure out her address on.
Oh, for sure.
would
I mean,
think.
he's been after her for a while,
Yes.
allegedly.
And so, and your husband made contact with him through the it's not really security service doorbell, but the ring style doorbell system. He was able to
Yes.
communicate, and then to the
Mhm.
best of your knowledge, Mr. O left.
Yes.
And when was the next time you saw him after that?
Well, I told my supervisor
Yep.
that he had come to my house, and so they called the police.
Okay, was he told to stay away from you and your office as a result of that at all?
My work did a criminal trespass
Okay,
for this site,
and have
that
you
he was
seen
served with.
him? Have you seen him at the office since then?
not at the office.
Okay, have you seen him elsewhere since then?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I think it's exhibit number 3. On the 15th of May at 6:12, my neighbor texted my husband saying he saw him walking towards my house. And then number 4 is a picture of him across the street, not 100 yards away this past Saturday at 4:45 p.m.
Mm.
All right, if we can see exhibit 4. And ma'am, just to make sure I'm on the same page, exhibit 3 is a text message from
Oh,
a neighbor.
shit.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And so this was the picture. By whom was this picture taken?
My husband.
Just casually walking
right,
by like his
and-
neighbor.
I
Uh-huh.
see a small white dog in this picture, as I saw on the video. Have you seen him with that canine at other points along the way?
I have.
All right. And this may be a question you don't know the answer to. Was Mr. O, do you know if he would drive to the facility, walk?
I believe he drives.
Okay. And would he also be likely to drive from the facility to your house if he was going?
Loud Elvis bringing stalking into 2023. I heard that's
Yeah.
actually a very easy thing.
I mean, we've seen it a million times already in some of these cases where, kids are visiting parents. They drop one in the diaper bag. They drop one in the purse. Just stick it in the back window of the car. There's a lot of crevices you can stick that thing.
Would it be great if she had video of him just casually walking the dog, walking by, but the entire time he's like this? Walking the whole
I feel
way.
like he brings that dog. That dog is like one of the oldest tricks in the book. You got a little cute
Right,
dog.
yeah.
Oh, you want to pet the dog? Oh, we should hang out sometime.
It makes you look a lot less harmless when you
Yeah.
got like a little dog like that.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
From one to the other.
I believe so.
Okay. All right. And at any point, has he communicated any wishes, thoughts, plans, positive or negative, toward you about what his intentions are?
So I don't know if I sent it yesterday. He sent a message to the Parks and Rec.
When we're trying to figure somebody out and make statements, is that a difference between the long nails and short nails? Is that something that I'm missing? Please.
I don't know. Thank you for putting that up there. Don't forget to like the video. Are we talking about his nails or her nails? Her nails. I mean, she's a working woman. Plays kickball.
Allegedly, Douglas, it's looking that way. Yeah,
there's a good chance.
Yeah, I think.
There's a good chance.
Yes, on the Magic 8 Ball. Laura in Michigan. Why not? I don't blame you.
It's a good idea.
What a way to get a Tuesday started, you guys. Thank you so much. My God.
For as little as $20 a day, you can fix my internet.
It's so close. So close.
Instagram.
The IG.
We can pull.
So doesn't the long last names too, though. That's always a red flag. I've heard allegedly. So there's that.
Let up. If not, I can read it from my phone. And it doesn't mention me by name, but it says something to the effect of, "Leave me alone. You leave me the fuck alone. You fucking pale-faced, blue-eyed devils. We can burn in hell. Also, fuck the cops," or something along those lines.
Wait, was that sent to her? Is that what?
It was posted on the Instagram page for the Parks and Rec department.
Oh, great Mikey frame there. Let me see if I can drop something in his.
Go ahead. I'm sure it's just delightful today.
No, it was just you like this.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Okay, well that's kind of rude. That's not a good way to pick up a pale, blue-eyed
bitch,
devil.
No direct threat.
Was that a private?
That was yesterday.
Was that was that a response to a post? Was it a private message? Something
that
else?
was my understanding is that it's a direct message to the Parks and Recreation Instagram.
And if that was the day before they even went to court, that's kind of stupid.
He's not helping himself. Could we ask her if she has blue eyes? Because I need to know now to clarify.
Make sure that
if it's her we're talking about. Yeah.
Her is the devil.
And I have the social media coordinator. If you need to speak with her, I can grab her.
Nah.
But that was yesterday.
Well, we might.
Okay. We'll see if that's necessary in rebuttal.
Lord knows he was. I mean,
we'll review that.
Let's be honest.
Okay. And
why the cop hating stuff though?
Yeah,
why see that coming?
Have the cops mentioned something to him? Like,
they catch him in the bushes, like Jay just pointed out. That's
stop being so damn creepy. Allegedly.
Old man Vic.
Pull your pants
up. You're not creepy, old man.
Oh no, old man Vic, you can pull your pants up or down. It's your choice. You're here.
That's right.
He needs to be spayed and neutered if he's up to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, what a stupid move right before
How dumb is that?
Do that.
Just for the purposes of the record,
Oh,
I show
I definitely don't like to party then.
yeah,
Oh.
that damn AOL.
a return of service dated May 6th, 2023, filed in with this court May 9th, 2023.
Damn that glass.
So I
Dickhead.
think those are all the preliminary questions I have. Sometimes we have to take turns or go back and forth. Mr. O, if there are questions that you think I should be asking this witness, you can suggest those questions to me and I will consider asking them. Separate from that, you will absolutely have the opportunity to testify or offer evidence if you wish to do so, but that will come after.
There's no
That
talking
does
out of
feel
this,
a little
right?
bit out of order to many
Maybe.
people, but unfortunately, that's how this goes. Do you have any questions that you believe I should ask this witness?
Does
Yes,
she
Your
like me?
Honor.
Yes or no?
I just think you should ask the wit. I'm sorry, I'm just, very anxious right now, but
Mm.
whether it was just like, if I just wanted to ask if you think that I knew that if this was her specific address, because this address just turned out to be in my neighborhood. And I'm sorry, you just said questions, right? I'm sorry, I don't.
Sure. Questions first. We'll do statements second. If you'd rather just move to statements, then we can do that, but I have to swear you in first.
Of course, if I knew that this specific house was your address, because I go to a lot of houses in that neighborhood because I live in that neighborhood, and
Cut.
and whether or not
Go to a lot of the houses around your neighborhood, Mikey. As you
Not as an adult. Maybe if I was selling Girl Scout cookies, or perhaps I was looking to cut some lawns and make some extra spending cash this summer, but not typically. No, Mr. O, by the way, slightly awkward, very Harmeyer-ish.
right, Mr. O.
I came to that kickball game because you were there, because you weren't on my mind at the time. I went there because my friends were there.
Well, she doesn't.
That wasn't an odd way of putting it. No.
For once, you were off my mind, lover.
Not at that
So
moment.
bad.
Now, earlier in the day, maybe late at night, right before I went to bed.
Maybe I'm staying outside your window.
Yeah.
Way to know what's on your mind.
Sorry,
So
I know.
She can't really answer that.
I apologize, Your Honor. I'm just thinking too much.
It's okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen I'll go ahead. She's not really in a position to answer your question because she doesn't know where else you did or didn't go that day. So if you choose to testify,
Imagine if we found out that they had met somewhere in a one night thing.
I'm so excited that there's so many Mikey frames popping up in the Discord right now. So excited. So excited.
you can, but what she can only tell you is what she witnesses firsthand. It's against the rules for her to speculate. So what she saw was that you took her business card, you left, and then fairly soon after that, you were on the doorbell camera at her residence. So it's possible that you were a Girl Scout and it was cookie selling season and you were going door to door in the neighborhood to help a cousin or a sister or something. I don't know.
Is Judge Dude stealing our lines already?
I mean, Judge, come on with something a little more original, perhaps.
No, but what she can do is testify to her part of the experience. If you choose to testify, you can testify to your part of the experience. And then to the extent those things conflict, it's the judge's job to decide who to believe and why. So do you have any other questions you think I should consider for this witness, or would you like to move on to the part where you testify?
I just want to make a statement. What's happened, hot stuff?
By hot stuff, he means you, Nancy. Thank you.
Yeah, what's happening, hot stuff? Lung dut dong.
I would just like to ask whether I made any threats.
There was no, actually, no, there was nothing.
Never, no, nothing ever,
Kickball
ever.
Game. Showed up 3 times at her job at the Parks and Rec. Took her business card. Showed up on her porch, ringing the ring doorbell, and walking the dog by a few times. And now claiming that he lives in the neighborhood. So
He just goes to random doors and just knocks 3 times on the
or
ceiling.
like,
Mayor,
or was physical in any way, or like, I guess like,
Were you ever impressed by my build?
I guess I really don't have any questions, honestly.
I can break those. I can break that down into a few questions. Did he ever convey any specific threats to you?
No.
Were there ever any statements that you took as menacing or harmful, or I guess veiled threats would be what I would say?
Yeah, definitely yesterday's message.
The Parks and Rec message that you're referencing. Okay.
Correct.
And has he ever had any kind of physical contact with you? I know he's
He has not.
in person. Okay. All right. Mr. O.
musculated.
Yes, about the Instagram message, that was in response because the rec center Instagram page liked a few of my posts of my dogs, and I don't understand why, because this happened after I
What?
was verbally and horribly abused by the cops that they sent after me.
there's
Here we.
the cops.
All
There's
right.
the cops. There
All
it
right.
is. There it is. There it
So
is.
what did he say about people liking his post or posts about his dog on Instagram?
It was
Is that
very
what-
confusing, Creed. I mean, Parks and Rec liked a few pictures of my dog, and this was after they'd sent the police after me that humiliated me and just brought me to tears.
We're off the rails.
You stupid bastard.
Exactly.
Okay, well, it sounds like we're ready for testimony, so we'll
Sorry,
go ahead and
yeah.
have you. It's okay. You can raise your right hand for me.
I apologize, Your Honor.
No, you're doing well. Do you swear any statements you make to the court will be
Don't
true
lie
under
to
penalty
him.
of perjury?
You're doing awesome.
Yes, Your
Judge,
Honor.
he's not doing
All right, you
good
can
at
put your hand
all.
down if you
Killing
like.
it.
So, as we move through this hearing, understand that the statements that are being made today are made under oath, and they can be used in other court proceedings to whatever end. With that advisement, what would you like to tell us today, Mr. O?
Oh, Wendy, but yes, absolutely. He was being more than creepy.
Oh!
All right, but if she was doing the same thing, like to me,
Let's see
Hmm.
here.
would that be when I was in my 20s and or 30s when I wasn't married?
So if she was coming at me, I mean, she's easy on the eyes, Wendy. I'm not gonna lie. She's all right looking.
Yeah.
She's put a little makeup on, maybe. I do like she's wearing that shirt she's wearing.
Mhm.
I think
Got a
she could
stable
be
job.
yeah, she got a good job. She's not just wandering around the streets like a psychopath. But if she was, that's even hotter. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely would have hooked up with her. It's like, hey, you come here.
All right, but there is a is there an age difference or not? What do you
Oh,
think?
he
Paul?
seems like a child. I think
Compared
he's
to
got
her.
braces.
Well, he does have plushies in the background with his clouds, but
I'm
there's
surprised
that.
his mom isn't sitting there with him, but he could be a 37-year-old man for all we know. I don't know.
He may be.
Well, I just think that this whole situation is frankly insane to me, and
Yes,
I don't think
agreed.
I don't understand why Jesse or the rec center ever contacted me to meet with them so they could explain the whole situation to me,
What?
about my supposed misconduct, and just explain like mature, sane adults instead of sending the Gestapo after me, because it was pretty traumatizing.
All right, so that's what he's mad. I was gonna say,
Oh, he is so mad about the police.
but she just explained that in a very adult
Yeah.
manner. The things that you did wrong, the things that make you look like a creepy stalker, and
Yeah.
provided proof also.
You're going around telling people that they look gorgeous and remind them of video game characters. You're next thing you know, you're gonna be sitting in your room making video tapes to send them.
Hello.
It's gonna just get out of hand. Thank God my internet straightened out.
It's definitely better. Yeah, it's the cops. He's really, really mad about that. I wonder how that actually went down. I actually wouldn't mind hearing more about that, because I bet he's over sensationalizing that.
Oh yeah. He's definitely building it up to something that's not.
I mean, a potential stalker situation. I don't think that the cops go into that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just at the end of a police chase.
No big deal, bud. No big deal.
encountering those police officers, and one of them in particular was incredibly hostile, aggressive, and was speaking to me in a very violent tone. It was clear that he wanted. I just. He just.
RLS, were you high in cleaning or were you up high cleaning? There's a difference in that.
Either or, don't do either one. Was this cop in question from Arkansas?
That must be, yeah.
Because he could have been slightly aggressive. I'm not saying.
Basically, what he said is the cop came in and rough talked him, and that is
Yeah. Like the cop wanted him to do something. He wanted him to give him a reason. A reason.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, and I just don't understand, like, why they just immediately went to the cops. I was issued no warnings or whatever. They didn't want to talk to me about anything, like, or try to like settle this, like,
What?
as sensibly as possible. Because
Amazon Girl memberships gifting is a great thing. Thank you.
Don't forget, we do members only 3 times a week for all the different channels we have, and we appreciate that. Tomorrow, yeah.
We got a case, members only. All right, so the cops. There's something I was just going to say. Is it? Listen, he's extremely awkward. I don't think he's putting on a show. I think this is how he is in most circumstances, most likely. Do we got to give him a little bit of leeway with that since he is extremely socially awkward? I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, right?
He may be, but here's the thing. He's socially awkward. I got it. That happens. People.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse to, like, one instance of weirdness. Okay. Several showed up at your house, showed up at your kickball game, telling you how you're gorgeous and you look like this video game person and all this other stuff. Those altogether make it incredibly hard for them to just say, hey man, just letting you know you're slightly off kilter.
Mystic Lady and Leather and Lashes both saying that he's over 30. See, I was thinking 24, 25-ish, maybe 20 early. See, I was thinking early 20s, early to mid 20s.
And she's in her 30s at least.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul.
Sorry, go ahead, Your Honor.
Yeah, I can jump in here. And what I will tell you is this, Mr. O, what you're here for right now is a civil proceeding. It's not a criminal proceeding. And I can tell you that the standard practice in a circumstance where one party, whether that's a corporate entity, a government entity, or an individual, wants another party to stay away from a place, the way to do that is to involve the police to the extent that it needs to be documented and recorded. And it sounds like what happened here was that they took 2 steps. One, a trespass warning, which was documented and relayed by the police.
Well, there's your warning. He just said he didn't have any warnings or anything for allegedly doing any of that. Well, there you are.
And again, he's attacking them online now. He's being kind of racist by calling her a pale white devil.
But in an awkward way, I think he was just trying to express his displeasure of having the cops called on him.
Yes, that's it.
And then 2, the filing of this action, which is a civil action, not a criminal action, to further reinforce those preferences and those boundaries. And so, there's aggressive and there's assertive. This is not aggressive. They didn't have someone go kick your door in because they don't do that for these types of for civil cases. But they also were very clear as to about what boundaries they wished to set. So, so I want to correct that misconception because I don't want you to leave here. I understand the feelings you experience going through this event are certainly valid, but to the extent that those feelings might be coming from a misunderstanding of the process and procedure as it played out, I do want to take an opportunity to discuss those details in the hopes that that might change some of the concerns that you have. Now, what I will say, what else can you tell us about the actual events that played out across April and into May?
Oh, April and into May. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I met Jesse at as she said, on April 15th, I think, at a public event at the park. Um, she was just doing her thing. I was just going around with my dog, trying to take part in the event, just talking with people, um, talking with the Tucker residents about, because there was a bunch of whiteboards and they were asking people about ideas they could put for the community. And, I was just walking around trying to like enjoy myself, trying to have a
Uh-huh.
good time,
Meeting girls,
just trying to
meeting
get to know
guys.
people, I guess, because, we moved into the area, in late 2019. This was before the coronavirus pandemic, which was a really horrible timing. So we couldn't really talk with anyone for a long time. So,
Cramp their
I thought
social
it would be a good
calendar for you.
opportunity to get to try to know people in my community or try to be more of a part of my community because, I'm just usually always busy working and, or going to work or, doing other things. And, yeah, I talked with Jesse, it's just a basic introduction, just a conversation, and she told me that I should go to the rec center, because I told her that I'd like to be more part of the community and find, hobbies and activities to do. So, and I talked with other people other than her, other people who worked at the rec center, not just her, So I
Mhm.
thought I'd just come visit, like, I, I don't know if it was like the next day or whatever, but, eventually I did come visit the rec center at some point.
What about the house?
So, across the last 2 weeks of April, how many times do you think you went there?
I think I tried to go there as often as I had free time because, I wanted to find new hobbies and new things to do or find new ways to meet people or meet new friends, make new friends, if that was possible.
So, did they give you a schedule of events?
They did, but it wasn't very detailed, the booklet that they gave me, and I tried using their online site, but it was just a mess to me personally. I don't know. I guess I just have a lot of things on my mind, so I just preferred going to the rec center just to ask about, events that are going on or going to happen because I just feel it's easier for me personally because, I know that might seem weird to Jesse, but for me, I didn't think there was much of a issue there personally.
Is it weird?
Okay, so
Isn't it weird that he continues to use her first name, Jessie, like they're good
Like they're
friends?
Yes, like they've known each other for a long time.
Yeah,
That-
that's weird.
Yeah, that definitely is. Wendy 50, thank you. He hasn't gotten to that part. Tried to explain that yet.
He's just trying to get to know the neighbors. Simply,
You're right, though. And even if you're in court, you would still use like her last name or something.
That's
Her
really
last
weird.
name.
so as far as and so they have video that they say you were at the rec center, you left the rec center, and then you were on her doorstep, you and your dog. And so what happened that day?
Yes, Your Honor. I was just going for a walk after I came home, and I usually like to visit my neighbors' homes just to, let them know that I'm in the neighborhood and that, they can feel a little safer when, since they know I'm around, So that way.
What? Is he head of security? This guy? Trust me, I would not feel any safer knowing
No.
that he is walking around the neighborhood peeking in windows and stuff like that. I mean,
What?
they're like
security or a super. Oh, I know.
honey. Yeah, that's it. He's a superhero. They're like, oh, lock the doors. Oh, don't worry. O's here.
Oh!
And how
Nothing
do
to
you?
worry about.
Just like just so you know, I live in the area, and I just want you to know I keep stuff safe for you.
Your security is paramount with me. Just letting you know, you'll be fine.
It wasn't bothering me until you just had to point that out, Pamela. Now that's all I'm going to stare at for the rest of the
Don't-
remainder of this.
Don't you dare worry. Don't you dare worry about locking your doors in at night. No siree. Not when
That's right.
O's on the job.
Feel free to keep your lights on, window shades up, preferably.
Mhm.
You know, because I gotta know the safety of inside of your house as well. I want you to feel safe as my neighbor.
Me and my dog on the job.
That's right. You see us-
K9 security.
you see us walking by, you know you're safe. Just so you know.
Wait, they don't feel off guard when they see me out there, you know. I just thought, you know, that I had no idea that was her home. Like I didn't just visit that house. There were other houses that I, you know, knocked on the door of or I went to. But
I don't remember who it was, so I apologize. But whoever said in the chat, a very good, was it Pierrette? I don't remember who had said it exactly, but about the fact that there were other neighbors that called and said that they saw him around. So keep that in mind while he's saying all of this.
You see me rummaging through your trash. Don't worry. It's only because I make sure nobody's been rummaging through your trash.
Don't worry. Next time I'll be inside your house going through your drawers. Upstairs.
Literally.
I'm sorry that she got that impression from me, or I don't know, just the whole thing just seemed like a horrible inconvenience. I'm sorry, I don't know the word for it, like convenience or like it just seemed convenient, like, you know, like a
Coincidence?
So at what point did you learn her full name?
when the sheriff came to me with the court court notice of hearing.
Now, at that
I
point,
was
you had already taken her business card, right?
yeah, but
Okay.
I didn't exactly read it. Well, actually,
But that was the same day you showed up at her house, correct?
yes, sir, but I didn't. Yes, Your Honor, but I did not know that that was her home.
Okay. And so, give me one moment. I've
All right,
lost my
Judge
my-
Dude isn't able to compute this either and try to make sense of it.
He's trying to come back with something where it doesn't come across that he is the neighborhood stalker. I mean,
100%. And again, going back to what I was saying, I didn't mean that as an excuse when I said about the fact that he is socially awkward. I didn't mean that as I mean that as there needs to be maybe a little bit of leniency, because now here we are a little bit further into it, and I'm starting to feel a little bit that he believes a little bit of this. I think that he might think that they're on a friendly level. I think that their first interaction, though, is what set the standard for him in his head, that they were kind of like friends because she tried to help him out a little bit.
mm-hmm.
That's
She
how
was doing her job at the park as an
Right.
employee of the Parks and Rec department.
He took that as personal.
Maybe flirting, or that she liked him. She might have patted him on the shoulder. You know, anything's possible, Creed. But he's definitely made this.
Oh, Kiernoff, I can see that. And that's why I say there has to be maybe a little bit of leniency when it comes to that. Not that that is an excuse for his behavior, but I honestly think that he feels what he just said. That didn't come out as a lie to me about the security thing, or that you feel a little bit safer, or that they're kind of on that friendly level where, you know, he's not calling her straight by her first name to be, I feel, just to be a dick.
He definitely doesn't need a pew pew. Can we get that away from him? That's not a good idea at all.
Yeah, that's kind of just that's just my feelings. Not that
he's in his own little world, and this all makes sense to him. That's why he doesn't understand why it's not
and
working out.
That could go along with some of his interests and stuff. There are a lot of video games that are in that fantasy world of, you know, things. And like many of you said, maybe this is a fetish for him. That could be too. That could be. I don't know.
Screen is cut out for a second. So, and then there was a photograph that was shown, screen shared earlier, that showed what was possibly you walking your dog at the same street. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. But if could I? It's your honor. Sorry, your honor.
You don't have to be fancy like that. It's fine, but just focus on the questions as best you can. So, what was going on? I think it was the 15th
Your
was
Eminence.
the testimony. That date that you were walking your dog again.
Well, I was just walking my dog on my part, but I had no idea this was her exact address until I actually read about it in the packet a few days ago. I I don't know. The whole thing was just a misunderstanding or an inconvenience. Like I don't really know how to explain it exactly, but I didn't know this was her address exactly,
Uh-huh.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. I would never
All right, give me one moment.
act creepy on purpose, Your Honor. Or raise my hand.
Because I don't think the sheriff specified where the accuser's address was, so I never thought to ask because I didn't want to know because I didn't want to get myself into trouble or anything or like possibly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I'm on call 24/7 for anyone in the neighborhood needs any help.
All right. Ma'am, are there any questions that I have not asked Mr. O that you think I need to ask Mr. O as part of?
Ask him how much he
This
spent on a
proceeding.
gaming chair. He's gone. Ask him what he thinks of Creed's chair.
Ms. Joyner Marshall, did you have any other questions that you believe the court needs to ask?
I guess I don't understand why we're contesting it if it's something he didn't know about.
Well, that's his claim, but his, I guess whether I find that testimony truthful and credible is for me to decide in determining whether or not he has intentionally committed acts.
Are you surprised at all that he hasn't asked straight up about if he really truly does live in the neighborhood or close?
Yeah, I mean, we keep saying he lives in. I live in the neighborhood. What is considered the neighborhood?
Right.
How far away is the neighborhood? And he definitely knew she lived there.
Yeah, pretty sure he did.
Of stalking. But that record by and large, I mean, you presented evidence prior to even filing the petition, that at least at the ex parte phase was sufficient to get the initial order. So all right. Mr. O, did you have anyone else who you intended to have testify today?
No, sir. It's just me.
He's like, yes,
Okay.
my brother.
All
Let
right,
me go
having
get
heard
him.
from the witnesses,
Hi, I'm Mr.
what will
O's
happen
brother.
is essentially as follows. I'll be 100% clear. I am not for a minute buying the story that you happened to pick up her business card, which would have contained her legal last name.
Thank you, Flucka. The dog is barking because somebody's at the door, some salesman. So I'm sorry.
You sure it's not Mr. O at your door? You sure he might be after your wife?
Oh!
Might be. All right. Thank you, Fluzz. Let's see what he was just saying there.
Initial order. So, all right. Mr. O, did you have anyone else who you intended to have testify today?
No, sir. It's just me.
Okay. All right. Having heard from the witnesses, what will happen is essentially as follows. I'll be 100% clear. I am not for a minute buying the story that you happened to pick up her business card, which would have contained her legal last name, and then coincidentally show up at her house later that same afternoon. Not even a little bit credible in the slightest. It's in a legal sense, I'm just not buying it, especially given the other pattern that was demonstrated leading up to that point. The excuses are flimsy to the point of being wholly unbelievable from start to finish. And it is a situation where I'm grateful you haven't made specific threats. That's certainly better than some cases that we have. But the behavior here is the type of following and surveillance and contact. The effort being put forward into making this contact is unusual in such a way that I think it's more than sufficient for the granting of this order. And so that is what I'm going to do. The conditions that will be in place will very much look like the conditions in the ex parte order, that he is to stay at least 100 yards away and have no contact of any kind. And that includes the petitioner's home.
Whoa, what is that?
And so
Is
what
that
I
a
would-
life-size teddy bear in the corner?
That's one of those freaky, really gigantic ones. Yeah, I think that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's so weird.
Wow.
I feel like he can. That's not even like a stuffed animal. We can probably put that on and walk around the neighborhood in that.
I think that's one of those really big ones you get from Costco every year.
I like that. He said your whole story is bullshit.
He really did. He said it in such a nice way, though. Judge Dude really gave it to him in a very. That's why I didn't get up and go over. I just let the dog bark and scare him.
Yeah, let him know we know.
In that regard, I'm not sitting here with a ruler or a tape measure. I know you have a dog. I know that dogs need to be walked. I struggle to come up with a reason
Pounding it.
that dog would need to be walked on that street. There is a park in the area. There are streets that go in other directions. And so that barrier, for all intents and purposes legally, is you can think of that as an impenetrable glass dome. And so you can take a detour, you can turn around, you can go somewhere else. Yes, Mr. O.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. You can finish before.
No, I want to make.
Keep in mind that TV show about the dome that was filmed all in Wilmington.
North Carolina, baby.
That's right.
Sure that we're all clear as to when we leave here what the expectations are. What did you have?
Well, I just wanted to note that the park next to me, I'm not allowed. I'm actually banned from that park now because of this limitation on my autonomy and freedom of movement. I'm not really allowed at a lot of these areas anymore. And I feel very boxed in and constrained personally.
Is it possible that he might have other cases against him then? That's
Well,
not just from this, right? That sounds a bit
He's-
serious.
Yeah, he's up to no good. This guy is, I don't know. I don't want to use the I word they were using earlier because sure YouTube will get mad about it, but pretty sure he may be one of them woman hating weirdo type deals, but he wants a woman at the same time and just
Oh, man. He's kicked out of every park in Georgia.
the one next to my house. I can't go to it either. They said no dog poop in here, please.
He just might be, Carol. Is the judge privy to that? Do you think that? I guess if you don't, do
Maybe
any
he sees
research-
some other files of something. Maybe they checked under his name. I don't know. Possible.
I think,
None creep.
I think it might be good to just move to another neighborhood, maybe.
Why is it that you think you're not allowed at that park?
It was on this list given to me by one of the officers at the rec center when they confronted me.
So that is a separate issue. So you have two different sets of rules that you have to abide by. So anywhere, it doesn't have to be listed twice. If it's on either list, you need to stay away. So what you were given is a list of trespass warnings in regards to DeKalb County property, I suspect, that include that DeKalb County park. That is a
Oh.
trespass warning. And
That makes sense. Leather and Lashes. Yeah, they run the Parks and Rec.
So you can't go to any parks.
It's on that
None.
list, anyways. He made it on
violation
that
of
list.
that would subject you to arrest for trespassing. What you are here for today, and the piece of this that I have control over, is an order that relates specifically to this petitioner and her family and her home, her work, and her school, if applicable. And the same for her family as well as any contact with her and her family directly, indirectly, or through third parties. So wherever she may be at a moment in time, you cannot be within 100 yards. So if you're at the Publix and she shows up at the Publix,
If you's at the Publix, Flusher. Thank you for two.
Get out of Publix.
it is incumbent upon you to head to the register and leave. That's how these orders work. And so by the same token, the penalties for these orders are tied up in the order themselves. And so this order runs automatically 12 months and will automatically expire May 22nd, 2024. And so those will be the terms that that will be imposed for that. And additionally, I will order as part of this, Mr. Ellis, we're going to have you speak to Mr. O when we wrap momentarily.
He may want to, too.
There will be a psychological evaluation conducted and treatment as deemed necessary that the respondent is to comply with pursuant to this court order.
Oh, wow.
And so those will be the terms.
He's putting that in there that he has to go get help.
Yeah, he's got a psychological evaluation. If it's deemed he needs help, he has
Judge,
to go
dude. Okay, I
get
like
some
that.
help. I mean,
We say that a lot, but we never really see judges throw that in there for
Yes.
almost any case.
obviously, he feels like he's as off as we do.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I think that's good. That is a step in the right direction. I feel like trying to help people a little bit.
Not just putting a Band-Aid on it, Creed. We're
Right.
rubbing a little salve on it as well.
Yeah, I like that. Not that it'll work, but you never know.
It's worth a
terms
try.
that we will be operating under. I will get this order drafted today or tomorrow and entered into the court record and uploaded to the registry. The terms and conditions other than that last provision will by and large mirror the ex parte order as issued. Any other trespass warnings or directions given by any other entity, human, corporate, or governmental, they are unaffected by this case. So if they've told someone not to be somewhere, they can't be somewhere. If they've said don't make contact, there can't be any contact. And so that will be the plan moving forward, understanding that a violation of this order can constitute criminal charges, potentially including more serious felony charges. And so, that's circumstantial depending on the nature of the violation. So excuse me, Miss Joyner Marshall, you are free to log off. And I thank you for your time today. Mr. O, we're going to place you in a breakout room. Mr. Ellis will have a few pieces of information to get from you, and then you'll be.
That's it. That's where they cut it.
Well, that was an interesting case, and all jokes aside, yes. Listen, if he can get some help, like I said, and I truly believe this. I think he thought they were friends. They know each other a little.
My
bit
biggest
more than-
concern too, Creed, is he's got anger issues, especially the way he's looking at the police now, and he's angry with the police and
Think
the
about
Gestapo, I believe he called them.
Is it right for me to say this? How different we would have looked at him maybe if that one thing that he sent to them that she read about that was really the only
Threat.
thing that showed that he has that side where he holds a lot of anger. Other than that,
yeah, that's and he sent that the day before court. Not a good play at all. Not a smart move. Showing up at her house. Yeah.
When I say friends, I mean that, yes, obviously, I'm surely he was madly in love with her, but I mean on a level where he can just call her by first name.
Mm-hmm. In his mind, there was a lot more going on than in reality. He's kind of
there was something there.
Detached. We'll say allegedly attached from reality.
I like that the judge did that. I think that's I especially in this case, I feel like that's pretty I think that's a pretty good deal.
We got a crazy week. I've recorded today some of the nuttiest stuff that we've seen in months.
Are we gonna get the update that you were
Yeah.
telling me about?
If everybody remembers, we had a case where we had the lady was the ceramics teacher, and then she had the old creepy dude that was wanting her to open up shop in his garage. We're gonna hear that probably tomorrow. That'll be our case we'll go into, and that case was heard today. He was not very happy, but I will tell you now, he'd hired a lawyer, Creed, and the lawyer came in and asked for continuance, and it was denied.
Oh well,
So-
good. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. When he'd asked already for that, I remember taken back a little bit.
So yeah, tomorrow we'll be jumping into that. And Mr. I think his name was Mountjoy something.
Yeah, it was a great time. Well, thank you guys. The Bad Internet Express lives on. Laura can drive. Jim never played kickball. How do you say it? We'll just say
Teresa Blake.
Jim, the one upper. Laura back on top, baby. Nancy. Amazon girl, the giver. Also Wendy. Kirnoth, Flusha. Oh. Flusha is not on that list. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Glad to be back at it and got a good week ahead of us. And of course, today, Taco Tuesday for We Gotta Chase coming up next 4:05 East.
It's going to be a party you don't want to miss, Chris. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you like this video if you're watching in the future. Still just as important. We'll see you guys real soon. Don't you worry. Don't get upset. Peace out. Top guys. I hope O doesn't move into my neighborhood.